Ashe and Grand Rising. A grand day once again to you all, my fellow humans. And welcome to this, the 13th in the series of Another Perspective on Healthy Living with your Senior Lifestyle Advisor Plus. Yes, it is I, the Mystic Philosopher. Before I even continue, let me again say thanks to you all. Thanks for your feed forward and also for your support. Those of you who have responded to my request from purchasing lignans from my site. Thanks for that. And also thank you young people at the gym, my friends at the gym that are asking me questions and having, reasoning with me and hearing another perspective. Yeah, at my age, when I have young people still listening to me, I feel good. I don't have not a lot, but the few of you, I really appreciate you and your time. Really, really, really appreciate it. My mom would say a little encouragement, sweet labor. Yes, again, thanks, guys. We'll get back, especially you, this Grand Rising. Question you asked, and we reason on it. But anyway, let me not detain the rest of you patients much longer. Let me continue with this episode 13. Now, at the end of episode 12, I pointed out the fact that the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, also known as the Christian, which is commonly known as the Christian Holy Bible, it called bad mind sin. At least that is the mystic philosopher's perspective, or rather interpretation of what I read here. It's called bad mind sin. Bad mind is a sin. And all of us that are naturally sane human will agree that sin is evil. And even though some bad mind people, and especially those that I consider to be the chronically bad-minded people that celebrate sin, yes, people who celebrate sin and take what I consider to be perverted pleasure in practicing and celebrating sin. The fact is that sin, in any stretch of our natural human imagination, and please note that I did not say just imagination, but natural human imagination, sin is not a good thing. Sin is evil. But again, it's only to those of us that are natural. From my perspective, we the natural humans that are of sound mind, naturally sound mind, we that are awakened and enlightened with heightened natural intelligence and heightened spiritual insights, we can know and we do know if or when a person, if or when an individual, a group of individuals, a person, or rather a people, a family, a community, a nation, a country, and by extension, a world is self-destructive. We know when them or they are about to be annihilated. We know that we know that their destruction is imminent. And how we know? Some of you may ask or might be asking, we know that we know when we can hear and see bad mind people equal sin, bad mind people which is equal to sinful people, not only practicing sin, they're not only practicing sin, but when we can see and hear them doing what? Claiming to find pleasure in their bad-mindedness, or if you prefer, in their sinfulness. We know that they are about to be destroyed when we can see and hear them proudly and unabashedly celebrating sin and their sinfulness, which is equal to what? Their bad-mindedness. We know that they are about to be destroyed, and that they will be destroyed when we see that they are completely unable to distinguish between right from wrong and good from evil. We know that they are about to self-destruct when we see that they have no human consciousness. Or if you prefer, when they have no human awareness of guilt or shame anymore, when people lose shame and guilt, they're gone. We know. When we see that they are literally like naked, insane people, or like naked madmen or madwomen, naked demon-possessed people existing, not living, but existing in the streets, having very little or no consciousness or little or no awareness whatsoever of their own basic humanity. Now, as I have mentioned elsewhere before, in other presentations, that bad mind equals sin produces evil actions. And evil actions also known as wickedness. Bad mind equals sin causes people, or bad mind equals sin causes us humans to deteriorate in every aspect of our lives and our natural native earthly humanity. A dangerous disease. It causes us to deteriorate humanly, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, morally, ethically, and otherwise. In fact, bad mind equals sin causes us to deteriorate to levels that are far lower than the lowly animals and beasts of the fields. Bad mind equals sin is destructive and every bad-minded person is not only destructive to others and to his or her environment, excuse my English please, but he or she is self-destructive. In other words, they are a danger to themselves. They are literally walking the road of death. Or to take it one step further, they are literally existing on the pinnacle, teetering on the edge, or the pinnacle of death, of sure death. In fact, if or when a person is so possessed with bad mind, if or when a person is so under the influence of bad mind, aka a sinful person, sinful to the point that he or she, or that his or her conscience, according to the scriptures, is seared with a hot iron, bad mind to the point that he or she becomes numb to logic, numb to reason, numb to activated common sense, numb to the natural way of living, and numb to the source of righteousness, then it is only self-evident that such an individual is condemned. And as such, such an individual should and must be avoided at all costs. Or such individuals should and must be avoided at all costs. If you are not a bad-minded person yourself, then you should not hang around or hang out with bad-minded people. Remember, birds of what? One feather flock together. Another thing that you need to know about bad mind equals sinful people is that they can't handle the truth. They hate truth, and they will even kill you for telling them the truth. They will sabotage you for the truth. They will do everything in their powers. They will, what the other word for it? They will censor you for the truth. Bad-minded people are evil. They can't handle the truth. And there are some that are listening right now. If you find your blood boiling and your hatred for me is evil, magnifying, because you are bad mind, you can't help it. Honestly, that's just the way it is. So they will kill you for telling them the truth and for pointing out the truth to them or the errors of their ways. A dangerous thing to try and correct bad mind people, wicked people, sinful people. Very dangerous chance to take. But we'll talk about that. I spoke about that elsewhere. We'll talk about that again should the need arise. It is just not wise to correct a sinful and a condemned person. And why? It is because a condemned person is a contaminated person that will contaminate a righteous person and cause a righteous person to go down to the bottomless pit of human insanity and indignity. Indignity. with them. I tell you, this is my language. I'm trying it. For as my late mom, now and most honorable ancestor used to say, and I quote, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you who you are." And she also said, "One bad apple will spoil the whole bunch." And from my mystic philosopher's perspective, with very few exceptions, bad mind people, aka sinful people, grossly immoral people, unrighteous people, wicked people are a total write-off. They are totally irredeemable. Now, as it pertains to the aforementioned bad mind equals sinful people, here is a quote, a quick quote from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, also known as the Christian Holy Bible. And the subtitle is God's Wrath Against Sinful Humanity. And I quote, and this, for your information, was written over 2,000 years ago. So as I said in previous presentation, that bad mind is not a new phenomenon or a new plague or a new disease. This was written over 2,000 years ago. Let me quickly quote it for you. I know I've exceeded my time, but please bear with me. And I quote, "The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godliness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God, nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being and birds and animals and reptiles. Therefore God gave them over. God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity, for the degrading of their bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worship and serve created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged their natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed sinful acts, or rather shameful acts, with other men, and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, every greed and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Unquote. This is from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, commonly known as the Christian Holy Bible, Romans 1 and verse 18. 1 verses 18 to 32. And I just quote from the New International Version. But again, my dear beloved people, you can check it for yourselves. Again, I have run out of time for this segment, so please join me in episode 14, where I will continue proving these points and show you and tell you more, and so how you may know and how you can know a bad-minded person or bad-minded people, aka sick people, a sick person, or how you may heal yourself, or how we may heal ourselves from bad mind. I also ask that if you can, again, I'll ask that you please support this series of short presentations titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living by simply purchasing your daily supply of lignans from the Norway. These lignans are from the Norwegian spruce tree. It's also known as aka Fountain of Life. Please purchase this from yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher, by simply clicking on the links provided in the description area below this video. You may also purchase a digital copy of my song playing in the background. The song is titled Have You Heard of the Fountain of Life? Simply clicking on the link and it will take you right where you can purchase it. You can even send it as a gift to a friend. I would be happy for your support. Your kind support will be greatly appreciated.